The stories you are about to hear are true, at least so you're told. So get comfortable, grab a glass of iced tea, and prepare yourselves for Tales from the Front Porch.
See, you already moved the glass. Hello, Dave.
Shut up, man.
I'm going to use the glass to mark where I'm supposed to be for the video, and then I'm going to move it.
It was on further left, and then I moved it towards the middle, and I just moved it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, if I keep it in the middle, that means I'll have to be sitting on your lap, because that cup is my marker for how far left I can go.
Which is why I said you already moved it, so how do you know where your placement is? I could put a piece of tape on the table.
So welcome to the podcast.
I already said that.
I know. You're just ragging on me over the cup.
That's the entire podcast.
This is true. I did learn. So this is the second one that we are videotaping. Or
Correct.
Video recording.
Yes. Look, I put it on the board.
Tales from the Front Porch. With fun with flags. And I learned watching part of it last week.
Are you Amy?
No, I'm on Sheldon's side. You're on Amy's side.
No.
We're not shamey, are we?
No, we're ashamed. But we're not ashamed.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right.
I need to project.
For what? For
that mic.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
You came in loud and clear, I thought.
Well, it's because I have a background in theater.
That's right. You're talking to the rafters or whatever.
Well, no, I just used my voice, which is really funny because this entire week, my wife is deaf in one ear. She had a horse riding accident when she was 12. She can't hear in one ear. And so every once in a while she'll go through a phase in which she can't hear anything. And so she'll say, "What?" all the time.
Yeah.
And so this week she has been like really pounding the what? And I said, "What?" And I'm like, "Can you not hear me?" She's like, "No, you are just totally Mr. Mumbles." I'm like, "I don't think I am.
I don't think so.
But maybe I am, because in my head I'm really loud, but then again I'm always screaming in my head. But to her, apparently I am just a mouthful of marbles. So who knows?
When was the last time your hearing was checked?
I don't know. I yell at her every day.
Yeah.
She's thought about getting the cochlear implant.
Oh, okay.
Because when she first lost the hearing, she still has partial hearing. She can hear really, really low tones. Mm-hmm. But when she cracked her head open, it killed most of the hairs inside the ear. So
sure.
And so
the cilia,
yes. And so she doesn't know if it's something that she thought about. But she's like, I've gone 3/4 of her life without being able to hear in that one ear. And so when she goes to bed at night, she sleeps on her good ear, can't hear a damn thing. Nice. And so it's like those kinds of things. Sure. But it's annoying when you go out to a restaurant with two people you want to talk to and one's on either side.
Right.
So she's constantly turning around to talk. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Right.
So anyways, doesn't matter. So yes, project.
You do not mumble.
Oh, I do. Except where I know I'm on mic.
I don't know. Anytime you and I talk, I mean, we're outside, whatever.
No, sure.
But I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today I'm wearing my Tinker Vice t-shirt. This is my Tinker Vice logo. Check it out on the video, guys. We're gonna do 5. We're gonna do 5 for free. We're gonna do 5 videos on our website and whatever.
Okay.
And then I think after 5, we're going to move it over to the other space.
So, that's a commitment on your part, because I won't be doing that.
You don't do hardly any of the work on this thing
right.
anyway.
I'm just highlighting this, yeah.
Which is why occasionally they don't come out on the same day.
Right.
Because somebody's got a job.
That's right.
So one of these days I'll teach
too.
you how to do some of this stuff. But since you're still you're totally killing Twitter. The one job you have.
Don't look, Ethel.
I bet I could sit you down and actually teach you how to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the only thing is, it's got to be done on your computer. I can't do it from home because all this is done on your Apple.
No, all of this is stored on the cloud, my friend. But this is something that they don't need to hear about because it's boring as shit. First right. Word. Anyways,
all right. So,
shout-outs. It's your shout-outs.
Is that going to be the new?
Hell no, because I stole that from another podcast.
Okay. Great.
No, there's a whole song that goes with that one, but yeah. Anyways, shout-outs.
So we had Scott in Italy.
I could just do this. Hey! Our shout-outs.
That's not annoying at all.
We are annoying. All right. So Scott in Italy.
Scott in Italy liked that picture of our little caricatures.
Ah, sweet.
Yep. And then Pamela in Massachusetts liked the video from last week.
Ah, sweet.
Eric in Endicott, New York. Now, last week I said Rick, so either he's changed his name or maybe he dropped the E before and he was, instead of Eric, he was Rick. He identified himself, he said Rick in Endicott. So I don't know if something changed, but I went out there and looked, and it's actually Eric, so I don't know. So Eric in Endicott.
Well, as a man who has Eric as his name, I would go by Rick as well. Because in the zombie apocalypse, you don't want to be saved by Eric. You want to be saved by Rick.
By Rick, no kidding, yeah. Oh, Lord. In this week's episode, no, we probably shouldn't talk about it. All right. I didn't
We're
like
doing
what,
shout-outs.
I didn't like what happened. Okay.
We're doing shout-outs.
And then, lastly,
man.
last but not least, Suzanne Starr. She's our recorder friend.
Yes.
She got out the CD.
Yeah.
So do I have time to read her comment?
Sure.
Alrighty. So she was very surprised that we gave her a shout out, and she's the one that released a CD last year. Check it out. So she said, haha, this is awesome. Just listened to the Free Falling episode and found this here, meaning her little shout out.
Sure.
Surprised to hear her name. Glad you like the song, and thanks for sharing. I've thought about writing to you guys a couple of times before, but just never got around to it. That's kind of like us in the podcast. I was sorry to hear about your cat, Dave. Mine died too, not too long ago. Sorry about that, Suzanne, and it totally sucks. It's fun hearing about your new ones, though. I really like your podcast and hope you guys keep at it. Hugs from up north.
Aww.
She's in Norway, so that's north and east. But it's
up.
a ways. It's across the pond.
Sweet.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
awesome.
Well, thanks for the shout-outs, guys.
Absolutely.
Hey!
Seriously.
So how was your week, Dave?
Oh, let's see. Did I do anything? So, Saturday night,
Yeah.
I had dinner with the ex-wife.
Okay.
John and Mallory were in town, so everybody was there, the kids. And so she wanted to have it at her house, which is fine. We don't
Sure.
always have to do this at my house.
Right.
Boyfriend was there.
Okay.
Nice guy.
Again, patient man.
Yeah. So we were sitting there watching basketball, Indiana and Kentucky.
Okay.
I'm from Indiana.
Sure. She from Kentucky?
Who? Oh, the ex?
How many she's is there at this party, dude?
Sorry. No, she was actually born here in Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she has no stake in this.
Correct.
All right.
So Dale came in. He hit the boyfriend. He had been out working and
Working the land,
working
sowing
the land.
seeds
He's
of
construction
love.
type thing.
Sowing the seeds, birds of the bees. Okay. All right, he was working.
So got in. We're all sitting there watching the game.
Yep.
He's asking if we care who wins.
Sure.
I, of course, was for Indiana. My son John was for Kentucky. That's who we picked in the bracket. And quite honestly, if I had done a bracket, I would have picked Kentucky as well. But so I said Indiana, and he said, "Why is that?" And I said, "Well, I'm from Indiana." Later in the evening, a couple different times, he said something about Illinois, and I'm like, "Is this guy from Illinois? Because I don't know where he's from."
Right.
No, he was talking to me. He forgot it was Indiana and was saying Illinois.
Oh.
So I thought, okay. Not that he has to remember where I'm from. We're not going to be making a road trip anytime soon.
Maybe.
He then asked, and Dale's a nice guy, I shouldn't make fun of him, but it's a podcast. So he said, so is there a state between Illinois and Indiana?
Apparently, the state of confusion.
Right. Like, wow, is school that long ago?
Hey, most people can't find all 50 states on the map.
I'll give you that. And maybe there's no reason why he should have known that. It just seems like if you know that, I don't know, that region, you've got Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, all right there. But at any rate.
What can you do?
So
Just school them?
I did.
It's nice. You're done, you're like, dunk! Okay.
Drop the mic.
Right.
Yeah, so that was Saturday night.
Sweet.
And it wasn't awkward at all.
Uh-huh. You know, they can see you now.
I know. It wasn't awkward, both fingers crossed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was Saturday. And the rest of it was the typical boring bachelor, scrubbing out the cat boxes, that kind of stuff. That was the rest of my weekend. I did not, so I've got my blog. I failed to get a blog out this past week, blog entry.
For shame, Dave.
I know.
For shame.
I know.
Apparently there wasn't enough Wawa. You couldn't have written anything about
Wawa?
that. Yeah, your sad panda. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh.
No, you couldn't even write anything about that
about that.
Indiana, Illinois.
So it
I mean, that could have been a...
It wasn't that I didn't have fodder. It was that I just never got around to it.
See, you gotta make time.
You gotta make time.
You gotta make time for yourself. You gotta treat yourself. Again, stole that from something else.
Excuse me. If I'm gonna treat myself, we need to turn off that camera. Okay.
Anyways.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Please. That's why they're above the desk. Yeah, so, this week I watched a man die.
Oh, that
For
was a
reals.
very nice way to say that, yeah. So Lindsay's grandpa.
He passed away.
He passed away.
Yeah, he had Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
And what a shit way to go. I mean, I have much props for the guy. I mean, huge respect. I've never seen a nicer man. I didn't know him for that long. You know, I've only known Lindsay for 15 years, and so him.
Sure.
And unfortunately, I didn't know him until pretty much after he was diagnosed, and so a lot of what I seen was just the downward spiral. So I wasn't as familiar with him in his gregarious state. But I've never met a man who, no matter the struggle, tried to stay as up to date on technology as he could.
Oh, right.
I mean, this man had the latest iPhone, latest iPad. I'd always have to go over there and set it up for him, but he was just...
I remember you talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, he just loved his tech, which I thought was just the coolest thing.
Right.
But in the end, I mean, Parkinson's, this is a rough disease, man. And anything we can do to nip that thing in the bud.
So what, at the risk of this becoming whatever.
Yeah, sure. How does one die?
Right.
With Parkinson's?
Right.
Your lungs stop working.
That can't be good.
No. And here's the thing. Okay, so like you recently lost a cat.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't lose the cat. What happened to the cat?
Cat died.
Really? Just one day you woke up and it was gone?
No, he was just slowly, he got a growth
And so
on the
what
outside.
did you do?
Cancerous. I put him out of his misery.
Exactly. And so here we are in the hospital, and we had all gathered around. And I mean, it was, I gotta say, like, the family, the show of support, whatever, we were all there. And obviously, you want to be there. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, and I'm not saying anything like that. It's just the situation is bad. This is the second person I know who has died of lack of breathing, okay? And it's just horrible. And so basically, your lungs stop working. And so, slowly, but nothing else does. Your heart's still strong, your brain's still strong, whatever. So they put you on morphine, a lot of morphine. So hopefully you're not there while it's going on. But there was, it was over the course of 3 hours that we were there. And it basically, he would stop breathing, and then you'd think, okay, well, he's passed. And then like a couple minutes would go by, and he just gasped. And then he was, and he was in pain. He was in a lot of pain.
Sure.
And it's just not... like when my grandpa died, he died of cancer, and I've never seen a stronger man lose to so valiantly to something. But he was not the man he was when he was alive. It's like, and it's the same thing with Parkinson's. You don't go out the same way that you lived your life. It's like you become hurt by the disease.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
But we're sitting there, we're all standing around, and we're all watching this. And his wife of 63 years was next to him and saying,
Wow.
it's okay, let go, we don't,
Right,
we're all
sure.
going to be fine. And it's just, his strong heart. He didn't want to die, he did, but didn't,
Right,
and it's really hard to just up and tell yourself to die. And so we're standing there, and the nurse is like, well, we can give him a little bit of morphine to help knock, and I'm like, can you walk out of the room and leave me 5?
Right.
And I'll take care of it.
Right.
It's like we're kinder to animals than we are to people.
Right. So the whole euthanasia.
Yeah, I mean it's a touchy subject and such, but there's
Is it right to die? Is that what they call
it's
it?
right to die.
Okay.
Right. And I mean I'm not gonna bring the podcast onto this horrible trip for much longer, but
I was gonna say too late.
we're already there. But I just want to say, there's no coming back from Parkinson's.
Right.
You're at the end. It's the same thing with like end stage cancer. There's no coming back from it.
Right.
So the whole right to die. I mean, it makes sense. I understand that like the people who are healthy, they want the right to die, and it's the legalization of suicide.
Sure.
And I understand that fight, and that's why there's a fine line in it. But if you're like literally on your way out, why make you suffer? And even if he was so drugged up that he didn't realize that he was suffering, you know, people around him, sure, you know, it's like, and I'm not trying to ease my pain of watching him, watching a man slowly go out, but he was going out in the worst way possible. So it was a weird experience. But, you know, that being said, he did pass. And fortunately, he went quickly, you know, all things considered. Ish. Which was good. I mean, it was a long road to get there, but when he actually started to be the exit was fast. So that was nice. But we're sitting around, and you know, his final wishes was to be cremated, and instead of doing like a big funeral service, they're going to do like a celebration of life, which is great. And so his wife, Brownie, she was sitting there going over what all she needs to do to take care of, you know, situations and whatnot. And the thing came up about the urn. They're like, well, you know, I got to buy an urn and all this, and I don't know. And I'm like, would you like me to make you an urn? You know, and I you know, she welled up, and that would be perfect, because he was really big into tech and arts and all this kind of thing. So, you know, and how better to celebrate somebody's life than make something very personalized.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, you know, I'd be happy to do that. And she's like, well, that's very nice of you, whatever. And then my mother-in-law goes, that's a business opportunity for me right there. And I'm like,
she chose that moment.
And I'm like, one, I'm not asking for any money here. And two, I am not an ambulance chaser. I think there's, you know, we just literally stood here for 3 hours and watched this man die.
Right.
And then, hey, I've got a business opportunity for you. Like,
here's my card.
How freaking weird is that? She's also the one that when I've had a person who's bought whose cat died, and she wanted an urn for her cat, and she came to me. I didn't put feelers up. And I think we talked about this a bit on one of the earlier podcasts. But again, she's like, that's a great opportunity. People have pets that die all the time. I'm like, yeah, but I have to make money to do this. And so the first thing that you do is, your pet died. Can you give me money? You know, and I know it's a business,
right? And
there are people who would do it, but I don't want to pursue it. You know, it's I don't mind doing it. You know, if somebody comes to me and says, I'd like this, yes, I will do that. But I don't want to be the guy out there shilling myself.
Right. I mean, so at the risk of being on the side of her, I guess.
Right.
You could have just standard, you know, where you have the pictures. It's kind of like with your, I don't want to call them action figures, whatever.
They're action figures.
Okay. Where it's standard boxes of different shapes, sizes, you know, whatever, whether even it's World of Warcraft, all that kind of stuff. And then the personalization then would come, here it is, and then I can put this little thing on the front that would say whatever, so that it's just standard where you're not chasing anybody. It's just a thing that's out there where they can.
But I think that takes the personalization out of it. That's like going to peruse coffins.
Right.
Or not coffins.
Caskets.
Oh, you can peruse coffins, but you know, caskets is more likely here in the States. The thing that we're doing, well, because I said, you know, I'd like to make it personal, and we're going to put like the names of all the family on one side. I'm going to laser etch the photo of the two of them with Ron Brownie on the front of it. It's going to have like little pillars on the sides, and I'm going to have my brother-in-law who works in metals. I said, you know, create something that each of them that looks, you know, that reminds me of your grandfather. He was a collector of tin toys and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that would be kind of cool to have those personalized in there. And then she wants it made out of walnut, and I'm like, okay, I can do all of this stuff, and that's perfectly fine. And I think that is to her the ultimate representation of her husband.
So how soon are you supposed to have this done?
I've got a month.
Okay.
Because they're not doing the celebration of life until May.
Okay.
He's not going anywhere.
Mr. Sensitive.
I am. Not. And so Vulcan, total Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I think that wouldn't work for a lot of other people. You know, it's putting on someone else's shoes. You know, they'll cover your feet, but that's not you.
Right.
You know, so I think that you know, but the idea of having a website is at personalurns.com. I'm gonna buy that this afternoon. Would be like really. I'm sure it actually exists, but you know, it's weird that, you know, so design your urn type of thing. But I think it's like going in. You ever watch those cake shows, like Cake Boss and that kind of thing, where people come in and it's like a cake's a cake. You're gonna eat the damn thing, you know. It's food, but at the same time they come in and there's like cakes you get at the grocery store. Here's a sheet cake. I'm gonna put some pretty things on it.
Right.
Or there's like Ace of Cakes where they're gonna build you freaking Hogwarts out of cake.
Right.
you know, and
Pretty impressive, by the way.
it is impressive, and that's more personalized.
Right.
It costly.
Right.
Whereas, you know, you can go out and buy the grocery store urn right now.
Right.
You can even get them on Amazon. But if you want something more personalized, you know, it's like you come to the Ace of Urns. It's like, you know, but it's something that you've got to kind of search out, which I don't know how do you market that? I mean, it's like the most morbid. I don't know. It seems really weird. It seems very ambulance chaser to me, and I'm not.
Only if you reach out to them.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like how do you make a business?
Right. I'm sure if you're interested, you will find that out.
So
Yes.
if listeners out there need an urn.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
contact paulisdead.com.
no, that's
I
the
bury
Beatles.
Paul. I bury Paul. Yeah.
So no, so that was that, and then we had a birthday for one of my nephews this weekend as well. So it went from. But what was nice is so like Brownie was married to Ron, and he's had Parkinson's for a long time, and as his basically his life kind of declined, he became more and more insular, and his house couldn't move,
Sure.
and so they had full-time help, and so she, being his wife, didn't leave as well, and so now that he's passed, you know, she's kind of gotten a little bit of a lift to life here. I mean, she has the ability to leave, and that happens,
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
And so, you know, she was at the birthday party, which they haven't been to one of these like young people birthday parties in a long
Oh, good for
time,
her.
and everybody was chatting with her, and of course you're chatting with them, and unfortunately the main topic is, you know, sorry about your husband.
Sorry about you.
But you know, then, you know, there was laughter, and there was the ability to like wander through the house and see what's new in you know, her grandkids' house, and see the great grandkids playing, and so that was really nice to be able to see her being able to go out and enjoy life. So I think that there'll be a Brownie will get a reprise and be able to enjoy things a lot more.
Going out on Match.com and
Doubt that, but you know. So
Too soon?
so yeah. So that was my weekend. It was pretty fun. The birthday party. The death thing.
right.
So yeah, and then working down here in the space.
So totally unrelated to that.
Sure.
We've bounced the idea of whatever, doing a live podcast,
Yeah.
and so
Periscope.
Mallory, my future daughter-in-law,
Uh-huh.
was saying that. So last week's episode, I was struggling to come up with Flat Stanley.
Okay.
I knew there was this thing, and I
Sure.
finally got there. But
Right.
so she was listening to it, and she goes, "I don't know if you know this, but I talked to you during the podcast." And she goes, she's yelling out to me, "It's Flat Stanley." She goes, and I wanted to call and tell you, and she realized, okay, yeah, it's a recording.
Sure.
So, but
Yeah. So one day when you're stumbling and we're doing a live podcast, it'll be like a porn
lines will
webcam, and then like it'll all swing up here and be like, oh, that's what you're looking for, dumbass.
that's right.
So,
There's a phone here with 9 lines on it, and they all just start lighting up.
they don't do those anymore. You know, you have cell phones.
Well, actually, so I mean, like radio stations, things like that. That's exactly what they have.
Well, yeah, but are we a radio station, Dave?
No, but that's my frame of reference. That's why.
Okay.
Leave me alone.
Something else big happened this week.
Yes.
To me,
Mhm.
I became a retail outlet, or my studio did. So now that I have a studio, I'm now able to procure at cost materials that I use and all the day-to-day stuff that I can then sell on websites and stuff like that. So I'm kind of excited about that.
So, what does it take to become a retail outlet?
Well, one, you have to have a space. That's like a big one for them, either online or brick and mortar. Most of the things that I use, they want you to be a brick and mortar.
Okay.
Because I got that now.
It's a rental storage shed. There
Sure.
it is.
And then you have to do a certain amount of business is a big thing. And so now that I have a larger space, I can offer classes. You know, it won't be like huge classes, but you know, it'll be classes on how to work with the materials that I do to do the weird things that I do. And
Right.
so I can now stock materials, which is nice too, because everything that I buy, I don't want to pay retail because then I'm having to turn it around and it costs the
Sure.
client more. And so I'm going to
Absolutely.
be able to buy things at wholesale because I'm repurposing them to sell. So
Very cool.
that would be nice as well. So excited about that. Happened yesterday.
Current events.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
So the other thing is if those of you who are watching the video, first off, there's always new toys in the back here.
Yes.
So if you're watching, you can zoom in. It's in HD, so we're shooting in 1080p. You can actually zoom in and see all the new toys. But every week I'm gonna start putting the things that I'm working on the desk, usually by me, because that's my stuff. And if you were here like an hour ago, this entire desk was filled with shit. But then Dave's like, leaving the base. I'm like, oh crap, putting it in a drawer.
So leaving the base is my text to him, letting him know.
That I've got 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
To get this place presentable. And now that we're on video, I really got to make it presentable.
Right, and the base being, for those of you who are new to the podcast or whatever, I work at an Air Force base, so yeah, that's the base.
It's not this hole in the wall that's got like a little cardboard cover that he hides in during the day or anything like that. I'm in base. Not it. Okay.
We're in control of Major Tom. Man. So Suzanne mentioned cats.
Yes.
She likes to hear cat stories, so Suzanne, this one is for you, although Mallory likes them too.
Okay.
So my bedroom's got 3 windows, 2 of which are I've got 2 windows in my bedroom. Shut up. 2 windows in my bedroom where they go almost floor to ceiling.
Okay.
They're actually, so the windowsill is about a foot off the floor.
All right.
Okay, so pretty low. So one of them, I raised the window, left the storm down, so I opened up so the cats could sit up there and look out the window. Left the storm down because they will shred the crap out of those screens.
Oh yeah.
So, Charlie, not real adept at jumping. I don't know why. He can't get up. He's gotten up on the kitchen counter. Like I said, that windowsill is only about a foot off the floor. 2 o'clock the other morning, I'm startled out of a very sound sleep. I wasn't sure if there were tigers trying to scratch their way into my house.
As it happens in Nebraska.
I mean, this god awful sound. I'm like, what? And I get up, and it's Charlie just trying to get cover that foot of distance to get up in the window. I'm like, he's not that. He's a big cat. He's not a fat cat. He's still a kitten.
You need me to build you a step, a ramp.
Exactly. Get him a ramp, for God's sakes. So then in the morning, I take a look at it, and I know what I'm going to see. And sure enough, he had scratched the crap out of that frame.
Whoops.
Yeah. I'm like, so I closed the window. I'm like, okay.
Take a pecan and rub it on the wood, and it'll cover up all those scratches.
So I've got some Watco or whatever that you rub.
Or you could do the original, like. I'm lazy. I'm just like, I got any nuts in the house? Okay. So.
Yeah. So.
That was a freebie. By the way.
Pecan.
Yeah.
The hint.
No, the useless information that I'm. Because we have a segment coming up with useless information.
All right.
Freebie.
We ready for that segment?
Sure, we can.
Alrighty.
I was gonna say my cat, that one that says over there, Luna.
Yeah, the one that snores.
The snoring cat who hates our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
She also had an issue with jumping. We thought for many years because we used to keep the water on the counter in the bathroom, and she'd always sit there and meow at you from across the house until you went over there, picked her up, put her on the counter. And we always thought for the longest time she just didn't know how to jump up there. Till the day we walked in there and she was up on the counter. And we're like, who the hell put her up on the counter? And she just jumps up there. She's like, well, if you're gonna pick me up,
right. And Charlie does the same thing. He'll sit there, and only he's got the pathetic meow, which is the one where the mouth opens.
Yeah.
And no sound comes out. Yeah, no sound. So I gotta ask, why would the drinking water be up on a counter versus just down on the floor?
Because I have toddlers.
No.
And
don't drink out of the bowl?
Well, no, but we had one of those waterfall ones.
Because I was going to say, if you just keep them hydrated.
That's right, it's fine. No, since it recirculated the water,
Sure.
They would do everything they could to get the water out of the bowl.
Uh-huh.
And so we ended up putting it on the counter so that the kids wouldn't mess with it. And then we got the dog, and the same thing. So,
sure.
Because for some reason, if the dog drinks out of the water bowl, the cats won't touch it. So
I got one of those drinking fountain things for the cat.
This is riveting, by the way.
The all 122? 123.
Yeah.
Episodes just as riveting. So, yeah, got the water fountain.
Mm-hmm.
I got there the other day, and there is water all over the place. It's for whatever reason, it's licking. It's.
Yep. Dave in his free time.
Shut up. It's leaking. So I shut it off, and I end up, dumping whatever. This morning, I set a bowl down there, just a plain old bowl of water. And Noelle does this. You thought I had just put a live mouse down there, because that cat goes flat. The ears are going. He's creeping up. He's sneaking around. He's going to sneak up on this damn bowl of water. He finally got up there. He got it.
Oh,
Got
good.
it.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, it's a bowl. What?
It's like the
Help me.
cucumber and the cat, man.
What a great video, by the way. I don't get it. I'm like, how is that thing any different than any other thing that you just attacked the hell out of in this house? Oh, by the way, and I forgot to bring it over. You loaned me your iPod adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was up on the kitchen counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it in the basement.
The one I lent you?
Yes.
Cat's got it.
Yes. Yes. So, and I meant to bring it over. But anyway,
Nice.
I'm like, nothing is safe anymore in that house.
No. It's like having kids again.
Nothing, yeah. Yeah. And so my son John said, I warned you not to get kittens. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I didn't listen.
No.
Mm-mm.
Why would an adult listen to his kids?
Exactly.
You know better.
Right.
They're not teenagers anymore, so they don't know everything.
Noelle was, so it's a yellow and white cat, laying on my bed, and I went up there, and I leaned over, I laid the top half of my body on the bed, so my feet are still on the floor, I just laid there, and I'm laying there and I'm petting him. Charlie jumps up on the bed, by the way, it's taller than a foot, and he did that with no problem. He jumped up there, crawled up on my back, and laid down, like he was going to take a nap.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do at this point, because he's got claws, on all four paws.
Mm-hmm.
If I stand up, that's not going to go well for me.
No.
So I actually laid there for a minute going, I'm not sure what to do now.
You roll over.
And that's exactly what I did. But I wasn't sure, it's like, so yeah, just a slow roll over and he just slid right off, but I wasn't sure if there'd be this panic, claws going out and, yeah.
So I know we're not supposed to talk about the treehouse, but my question is, how clean was the treehouse?
It was not good.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Because
it
we
was
haven't been
not
in it in like 8 months.
And you mentioned there would be leaves in it.
Yeah.
What? It's an enclosed thing.
That's if the kids close the door.
Oh, okay.
Kids don't close the door.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Although it's not perfect, because I didn't have enough time, but I got most of it. Yeah, sweeping all the leaves out of there. I pulled back the rug and doing all that.
Your housekeeping on that, the treehouse there.
Yeah, so wiping down, you got a counter where the radio's on and all that, so wiping all that down.
That's a bit excessive.
So, yeah, well, I mean, the radio's up there. That's
Sure.
You're going to set the beer
Just
up
turn
there.
the moon on.
The moon came on automatically.
Oh, yeah, when you plugged it in.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's plugged into the same thing as
Yeah.
the radio, yeah. And then, yeah.
Did you turn the lights on?
Just a little, what do you call
Oh, okay. The little
The
Christmas
recess.
lights. The ones.
Not the Christmas ones, yeah.
Oh, the ones under the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Is it under? Well, it's up in the roof along the.
Oh, the rope light.
Okay.
That one.
They're hidden.
Yeah,
You can't see-
it's the rope light. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So some ambient light.
That's right.
We won't say why you were in the treehouse, but hopefully people can figure it out by this subliminal thing. Anyways, but it was nice.
It was very nice. Yeah.
Did you turn the heat on?
Didn't need it.
Oh, okay. It was nice enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was pretty cold that day.
Oh,
So
it was all right.
cool. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
It did.
So if anybody needs to borrow a treehouse for whatever reason,
That's right.
and you're in our neighborhood, just ask.
That's right.
Since I keep it under lock and key.
He does an ambulance chase, but he does date chase. So
I don't date chase, but we were gonna film it.
ignore the red blinking light in the corner. That is wrong.
Yes, totally. Okay, so Dave,
Yes.
it's time for Paul's interesting fact, or isn't that special, or whatever.
Okay.
Do we have a title for this yet?
Well, hey, it's your bit.
I came up with yours.
You did.
Dave's shitty joke of the week. Yeah, I came up with that.
That was born out of your opinion of the joke.
Uh huh. And Dave's opinion of this segment is it's boring as shit. So,
So what did
Yeah,
you
right
call it
now.
a minute ago? I'll write it down. I'll come up with
isn't that special? Or
Nah,
Paul's
that's
interesting fact?
Paul's.
It's not that interesting. Actually, this one's actually kind of interesting. So, Dave,
Yes, Paul.
you like weather because you're an old man. Seems to be the one thing that we talk about all the time. So,
I like to storm chase.
Yeah.
Proceed.
so you know the difference between clouds, like a
Yes.
cirrus cloud
Cirrus
and
and cumulus.
cumulus.
Mhm.
How much does a cumulus cloud weigh, Dave?
I don't know that.
Would you believe that an average cumulus cloud weighs 1.1 million pounds?
This would be the water.
Yes. Well, that's what the cloud is made of.
Well, not everybody.
Knows that a cloud is made of water?
Let's not assume anything.
Okay, ask you me.
It took me a second to get that. Because I'm like, did he leave out the K? Ask you, me? I don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah.
I'm the people you need to explain.
So yes, the average cumulus cloud weighs 1.1 million pounds, or as much as 66 elephants. But the reason they don't fall to the ground like 66 elephants would is because, on average, it's every cubic meter contains only one droplet of water.
Really?
Yeah. And so that's why they're so large. And the way that they figure, scientists, people who are bored.
Who make up the facts.
Yeah. What they do is they figure out the width of it by driving under the shadow.
Driving under
Yeah,
the
they drive
shadow?
under the shadow at a specific speed, which then allows them to calculate the distance, and then they cube it.
So somebody's not laying on top of an airplane with a tape measure.
No.
Fly that plane more slowly.
That's what the pilot with the selfie. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that picture, so I'll look it up. Anyways, the pilot of a selfie, selfie of a pilot who's flying supposedly over an island. He's like leaning out the window, but then the reflection in his glasses shows that he's actually on a runway. Yeah, green screen. So,
Nice.
But so they figured out that it weighs about 1.1 million pounds. I thought that was pretty interesting, in that most of the water up there is the reason it stays aloft is because it's so thinly spread out that it doesn't have the weight. Gravity's effect on it is negligible, and the hot air that comes up actually suspends it in the air. So I thought that was neat.
That's very damn interesting, Paul.
Well, I thought you'd like that since you like
It's actually,
cloud
it actually
things,
is.
so.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, who would have guessed? $1 million, really.
That it weighs that
So-
much, right? That weighs that much, and it's hanging above you.
Right.
Yeah. So
Chicken Little.
yeah,
It's gonna hurt when it lands.
and so every time it gets like really foggy down here, just think that you're surrounded by 1 million pounds of weight. Because all fog is a cloud sitting on the earth,
Oh,
just taking a break.
that's right.
It's like, you know how hard it is to stay aloft.
No wonder I feel fatter when it's foggy.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Well, thanks, Paul.
that's interesting. Huh?
Appreciate it. Actually, was, yeah. I'll give you that one.
I tried.
I'll come up with the title.
It was better than the
If I
tape
remember.
measure. I'll give you that. So,
For a second there, I thought you meant my little thing with somebody up there with the tape measure measuring.
no,
Yeah,
last week's.
Right, yeah.
Not so interesting fact. Because I
And-
forgot about clouds. What?
Sorry, nothing.
No.
Do you
no.
have 2 bits?
No.
25 cents, here you go.
Can't buy you nothing these days. No, I don't have 2 bits.
Okay.
I only have the 1 bit.
I was thinking there was 2.
No, you have like
How long
3
have you been
bits.
doing this? I don't have 3 bits.
Want to bet?
I do.
Now it's time for Dave's music thing of the week.
It's music trivia.
Okay. Music trivia of the week. And then Dave's shitty joke of the week. And then Dave's wah of the week. 3 things!
Shut up. Well, we can cut one out.
No, it's about you, Dave.
God, screw you. Alrighty.
So, this week in music.
Hey, you know, if it's not about me, it should be. All right. So, Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, I read about this.
Right. So, they, after, 10 years, they have...
No. What happened?
I'm sorry.
So,
Go ahead.
she was married.
I thought it was a boyfriend, but go ahead.
No. Married.
Okay.
Husband. Liked to go fishing. They lived in Australia, by the way, because she's Australian. Good day. And so, So he went fishing one day and got lost at sea.
Lost with air quotes.
Yeah. 15 years ago? 10 years ago.
10 years.
10 years ago. So, what happened, Dave?
He was found.
Dead?
He's okay.
What?
And why would you run away from Olivia Newton-John?
Oh, that's not what he ran away. Well, that is part of what he ran away from.
Okay. Now, I don't know the rest of the story, so you tell that part.
Okay, well, where did they find him, Dave?
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't say that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, you were talking. What the heck?
Yeah, they found him in Mexico. What'd they find him with?
That I can't give you.
His new wife.
Oh, that's nice.
And an assumed identity. And not the $60,000 worth of debt that he ran away from. Or the back child support.
Oh. So here's that. So I saw that.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I thought, okay, we'll do Olivia Newton-John music trivia.
Sure.
Right. But I also found that Dateline did a story in 2009
Oh.
where they found him in Mexico. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They had found him already in
They
2009?
found him already. So here we are in 2016. I'm like, what?
But we already
They
know that.
lose him and forget, they found him and lost him again. What? So,
Interesting.
yeah. So,
Interesting. Okay.
so there's that. All right.
So news, not news.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know why. But on the radio, a couple weeks ago, the DJ that was talking played a song by the Monkees and said he was playing that because Davy Jones had just died. No, he died 4 years ago. But he looked on Facebook. It was on Facebook. He didn't do his fact check. So I actually called him and said, yeah, he's been dead for some time. And he goes, damn that Facebook. Fact check. Yep,
Everything on the internet is true,
that's right.
according to Abraham Lincoln.
There you go.
So saith the Lord.
That's right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Do you know who Katie Seagal is?
Yes.
Yes. She sang backup for Olivia.
Did she?
She did indeed.
With the big hair and all?
Big, probably. Yeah. Let's see. Olivia was appointed, I'm reading here, Olivia was appointed United Nations Goodwill Ambassador for the Environment during the George Bush administration back in 1989.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Conaway, do you know who that is?
Yes.
He played Kaniki in Grease.
Sure.
Married her sister.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a joke here, but she fractured her coccyx while filming the dance sequence suddenly in Xanadu. I would hate to injure my coccyx.
You know what your coccyx is, right?
Don't touch it.
Do you know what that is, though?
It's in the throat, right? No?
Oh my
It's
God, no.
It's in the ear.
No.
Where is it? He's laughing.
It's your tailbone, Dave. Xanadu.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%
Yeah,
positive.
I know.
And the average human can have between 6 and 8 parts of the coccyx. And some people, some rare people, actually can be born with an actual tail, like a residual tail. And I always thought that tail would be like a little nubby looking thing. But no, I was actually researching it, and you can have like a full-on tail.
So, like, what was the movie? George Costanza was in it, but was not. He had a tail in the movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember. I don't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah,
but I remember
Jack Black was in it.
Right. But yeah, you can have
Alrighty. So her
coccyx,
tailbone.
tailbone.
Tailbone. The one
Now,
that's-
why
the
would
one
that be
that's in the
important? And how would she do that while filming Xanadu, Dave?
What, I never saw Xanadu. Was it she a skater or some nonsense?
Roller skating?
Okay.
So maybe she
She
fell
fell
down
on her butt. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Right.
probably what happened.
Yeah.
Also, one of the hardest bones to heal is the coccyx. How do you not sit? So then you're always rubbing your coccyx on things.
See, I thought I was going to make some dirty reference to, and then we'd move on, but Dave's going to get
Schooled. That's right.
Alrighty. Moving along. She won the. Oh, I love the typo. The very fist. The very fist.
Now we know how she introduced coccyx.
She won her first Grammy Award. No, not her. She won the very first Grammy Award in the Video of the Year category.
Yes.
For physical.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep. There's only so.
Which is hilarious because that
Because-
song has nothing to do with getting fit.
Right.
It has more
The
to do with
video's-
getting fist.
the video-
Let me tell you.
That's wrong. I'm sorry. That video sucks. The video sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It honestly, when I watch it,
Right.
it always reminds me of like a Weird Al video because it's just so parody.
Right.
You know, it's not. But then you listen because I heard that the other day. I don't know why they were playing. It was some '80s thing or whatever, and then they had that bit of trivia that came on after it, and so I was just listening to the song because obviously they're not playing the video over the air on the radio.
Or are they?
Well, maybe they are. Can't pick it up on my teeth. And so. And so then I'm like listening to the lyrics and I'm like, holy crap.
Right.
Yeah. Just like, yeah. Shebop. It's,
That's
you know, it's like,
yeah.
it's a, wow, okay. She likes her sexy time.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Video sucked. All right. So what else? Okay. So while recording her first hit, If Not For You, so this is way before Grease,
Sure.
her dog was in the studio with her, and at one point knocked over the microphone stand. And so you can hear it in the song. It's right towards the end as it trails out. I actually did the fact checking on that. Fact checking. I listened to it. I listened to a couple different recordings to make sure that they were from different sources and whatever.
Sure.
You hear it, but if you didn't know, if you're not paying attention, you're just not going to hear it.
Sure.
So there's that. One more.
Okay.
So she played Sandy in Grease, right?
Yes.
She was not the original person that was supposed to be Sandy.
No. Who was Dave?
It was. I had to look. I started to say Sandy. It was Susan Day, who was in the Partridge Family. She was also on that. Was it L.A. Law?
Mhm.
She was in L.A. Law, yeah. And she turned it down on advice from her manager.
Oh.
I hope she fired the guy after Grease came out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but she was, I would say after that, Olivia Newton-John, pretty typecast.
True.
So.
Right. That's true too. But I mean, the hell has Susan Day done? She should hope to be typecast, right?
She was on some sci-fi shows for a while, if I remember correctly. So
I mean, I thought she did. I mean, to do L.A. Law after doing Partridge Family, I thought that was good on her that she's not going to just not be hired. I thought she did a good job. But so anyway, so there you go. Olivia Newton-John trivia.
excellent. Thanks, Dave. Now it's time for Dave's Shitty Joke of the Week.
His third segment.
Second segment.
No, that would be the third, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, I can't count. Who have I been here the whole time? Who am I?
Exactly.
Where are we?
Old Man Winter.
Shut up.
All right.
So Paul,
Dave!
why didn't the skeleton go to the dance?
I don't know, Dave.
Go ahead.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? I've only heard this joke like 800 times.
No kidding, because he had
No
nobody-
guts!
or nobody to go with. Close enough. Yeah, and that's right. It came off the same kid joke site, but the next one did not. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be better.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
Paul,
Dave!
what's the worst side effect from a contraceptive pill?
I don't know, Dave. What's the worst side effect from a contraceptive pill?
Children. So there's that.
Yeah. I took the shell off my racing snail, but it just made him more sluggish. That was my dumb
Are
joke.
you the Lexi today?
I am. That's my Alexa
Alexa,
joke.
not Alexa, not Lexi.
Yeah. So that was my Alexa joke.
Oh, Alexa.
Alexa. You keep saying it.
Yeah,
she get turned on.
I'm turning her on. Alexa.
I couldn't find any smart devices on your network in Paul's profile. To use smart home features, first, ask me to discover devices.
We're gonna hear the whole thing.
Yeah. Because you kept talking about
I know.
it. Do you want me to ask her?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Alexa, tell us a joke.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Kanye. Kanye who? Kanye believe it? I tell jokes too.
Apparently not.
My sluggish joke was better.
I think so. I agree. I totally agree. Man.
All right. So, Dave, do you have a sad panda this week?
It's not a sad panda. It was actually one of my original blogs.
Okay.
Since I'm apparently behind. The song Old Days by Chicago.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Chicago songs.
Sure.
So, so that made me think of the, old days, right? It's not sad panda, but they're stupid things and things I probably shouldn't put in writing because they're just embarrassing, but I don't know any better, so I just put them out there. So the game Spin the Bottle. Everybody knows what Spin the Bottle is, right? I did not. So there were a bunch of us around. They were on the street corner. We're trying to figure out something to do. Like, I know. I don't...
You and I assume a bunch of dudes.
What?
We're sitting around on the street corner.
There were women.
Oh. Okay.
No, it was... but two of them were my sisters. So they said literally somebody had a Coke bottle and they're just sitting there spinning it and we're just trying to figure out what, and I said, how about if we play Spin the Bottle? Now, they said, hey, that's a great idea. And so they march off to go get some privacy. Well, and I'm following going, what? I honestly thought, and no, it doesn't make any sense, but I honestly thought that you spun the bottle and whoever it points at, it's like, you're it, only nothing happens. You just point and laugh. Ha ha, it's pointing to you. True. Is that sad or what? And then
Please tell me this was like 6 years ago.
This is. It was last summer.
How does this work? That's funny.
Yeah. So they actually started playing. I'm like, and I didn't want to play because there was the chances of that bottle pointing to one of my sisters was it just probability was too high. So I watched. And they weren't the only girls, but there were like 4. So there's a 50-50 chance. The stakes were too high. I couldn't do it. So that's one. So I know it's
We've all been there, Dave. We've all had that naive moment.
Now I didn't admit it to them at the time. I'm like,
Oh,
is that what that is?
yeah.
They just said, hey, great idea, and I traipsed off.
Sure.
All of them. So I'm telling the world now.
Why not?
Why not?
What do you got to lose?
That's right.
Suck face.
So
Pride.
and not to be topped. So lip sync is very popular now. Jimmy Fallon has made it popular again. Got a show doing all that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So my friend Greg and then my friend Kevin. Kevin was actually a groomsman in my wedding.
Okay.
He lived down the street from me.
Oh, that guy.
Kevin. No, you never met him. So we did some lip syncing back then.
Oh.
Yeah. There was one tune in particular that we liked to lip sync to.
Which song was that, Dave?
It was the...
Am I going to know this?
Probably not. It was on a Carpenter's album.
Okay.
It was a Bacharach David medley. Yeah, for Bacharach Hal David.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, not everybody.
Yeah.
So we would do that. You know, one of us play air guitar, the other play drums, and they had the old console TV, and one of us used that as the keyboard.
Sure.
And we're just belting out that Bacharach David medley. Now, and what's sad when you consider, okay, yeah, it was the 70s, but I mean, you've got Marvin Gaye, you've got Al Green, Paul McCartney, you've got The Who. We picked the Carpenters to lip sync to.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we could have done.
I played Dungeons and Dragons.
We go.
We all went through it. Dave.
We'd have looked much cooler doing. We won't get fooled again, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and then last but not least, Greg.
Thanks for doing that in the microphone, by the way, Dave. That was very nice.
Clearing the throat.
Yeah,
See this or this. So, anything I can do to annoy, I'm here for you, man. So, junior high, Greg and I had this crush on this girl named Cecilia.
Okay.
She was a year ahead of us.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. See, that's an old song.
That's right. Sung by
Paul Simon. Or Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon.
actually, but
Correct. That's right.
Whatever.
So
Sung by Paul Simon.
we were such I don't know, idiots, dorks, I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
But so we would write little notes to her, ride our bikes over to her house, and stick the note in the door, knock on the door, and then run and hide behind these bushes, as if she wouldn't know we were there. And the fact that we're sitting back there, we're talking, hey, she doing?
You had game.
And I looked up just in time to see her. She's looking over the bushes because she can hear us, for God's sake.
She probably see you.
She's grabbing it. Yeah, no kidding.
Your little chicken legs looking out of the bottom or something there.
We never got anywhere with her.
Obviously not.
There was one time there was some little fair kind of thing going on at one of the local parks, and she was running like the concession stand, and so we went up, figuring she doesn't know it's us, and just buying a soda. And the look that she gave us, it's like, yeah, that I think she knew. I had one of my older sisters call her to talk to her. I know.
Wow.
We were stalking.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. We got nowhere with that boyish charm, by the way.
No.
No. But that's just kind of the. Here's one more. I wasn't even planning on telling this one. It's not a girl story.
This is an exclusive.
That's right. You won't find this on the blog yet, anyway. So we had junior high. We're on our bikes, right?
Sure.
There was a place called it was a viaduct, Brown Street. It was actually dangerous. It curved around. The number of car accidents because you go right. It's just there's like a blind spot apparently inside the thing. So we thought it'd be nice and dangerous to ride our bikes through there.
Yeah.
And we were scared because knowing the number of accidents, cars racing through there, you're going through there on your bikes, and then to do the dork thing. And we actually recorded this. I'm carrying the tape recorder, the whole thing. We're recording this bike ride. And we started honking. We sounded like geese that were in pain. We're going through there going, both of us doing this, and it's echoing through the viaduct. And we just... And of course, I guess I don't need to say that neither one of us had a girlfriend. So...
I hate to say that you actually brought that story up in episode 3 of Tales.
Oh, did I really? Episode 3? How do you remember? You're just making up a number now.
No, it's episode 3.
How do you know that?
Because it's one of the very first stories you ever told on
Oh, is it really?
podcast. It was the one with stupid kid things that we did. And
okay.
You did rockets and gasoline rockets.
The rockets,
and,
I know I told that story, yeah.
Yeah, the viaduct story.
But
that's okay. That's 120 episodes ago, Dave.
That's right. I think we should recreate that, actually. We'll drive through each with our cars and the windows rolled down going, okay.
So the other day, this is a
Yes.
visual, so those of you who are watching the video can see this. Okay, so I have an 18-month-old, Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he is very animated, as most 18-month-olds are, and doesn't talk yet much because his brothers talk for him, so he has no need. So
Sure.
he does a lot of like exasperated sign language, as most little kids do. One of his favorites is the thinking one.
Oh.
Again, visual.
Visual. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to watch the podcast figure out this one. The other one is he likes to cook. You know, he's got his little fake kitchen upstairs, whatever. So he'll come and he'll hand you a pot of coffee. but then he knows you need a cup, so he'll back away, and he's like,
Like, hold on.
yeah, wait, all right, which is my favorite. But his favorite thing to do is to find our keys, our car keys in particular, and make the car honk
Okay.
from the garage or whatever, anywhere in the house. But when he does it like Randy the Macho Man Savage style, so he'll make a honk and he'll go.
End of the year.
So so it's hilarious as an 18-month-old. So
Has he ever accidentally started it?
I don't have an auto starter on my
Oh,
car.
okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have a aren't you newfangled?
Whatever. It's a 2007. It came with the car.
2005. No.
Yeah.
No.
Newfangled.
Tesla's releasing a $35,000 Tesla vehicle on March 31st. $1,000 down payment. You'll have to wait until like 2017 or 2018 to get it, but
They're still prototyping? What the hell?
no, they're just because they don't mass produce any cars, they make them per order.
Okay, gotcha.
To get on the wait list, it's $1,000.
So 35,000. That's nothing.
Yeah, considering they're normally like 120.
Right.
So yeah, it's their new entry into like everyday. But then you have to get like a charger for your house and stuff like. So I mean, it's not just $35,000. But if you want a Tesla completely automated, like the car drives itself, $35,000 car.
I think it should recharge the battery just by the friction as you drive through.
It does.
Picking it. Oh, really?
Yeah, it self charges, but then you can also bring it home and charge it as well. So, like whenever you apply the brakes, it actually recharges the battery a little bit. But to get like a full charge on it, get you 120 miles per charge or whatever. And yeah.
So you gonna buy one?
God, I'm tempted.
I know you are.
I'd love it, but the thing is, it wouldn't be for me. It'd be for my wife.
And you drive it all the time.
I'd
be
be
for
so
your wife.
jealous.
Seriously,
I'd
dude.
be so jealous for having a Tesla vehicle. But I don't think it's big enough to have all the kids in it. Plus, I wouldn't put 3 kids in the Tesla
Well,
vehicle.
right. I mean, you still have your SUV and.
But the nice thing is that the Tesla, you'll get set if you are done with it. You can sell it back to the company for 70% of what you paid.
For how long?
Life of the vehicle.
Really?
Yep. They'll buy it back for 70% because the batteries and stuff like that will always have some value.
Sure.
And so that is their promise to you when you buy a Tesla. So
Very cool.
I think that is very neat.
I think you should buy one.
God, I'd love to have one. Oh,
Buy it for you though. Screw Lindsay. What the hell?
no. I mean, yes, but no. Yeah. Anyways,
All right. Is that it?
is that it?
I think so. I think we're there.
All right. Check out the video. You'll see the hidden message on board.
Yeah, it's hidden in plain sight. Nice.
All right, I'm Paul Pape of Paul Pape Designs. You can find me anywhere that you find the Paul Pape or the Tinker Vice Studios. That's my gang sign.
I thought you were playing with your nipples.
No, I was pointing at, well, that too, but
Right.
just because it's cold.
All right then.
Yeah, who are you?
Dave Duvall. You can find.
That's
me.
who you are!
Oh,
God, you reminded me
I
of
think
somebody.
I just wet myself. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter.
Sweet. What's your handle?
Do I have a handle?
On either of those? Yeah, how do they find you? On Instagram, what's your Instagram account?
I think it's just Dave Duvall.
Okay, see, it's a handle.
Yeah.
Twitter?
Check out davesrandomthoughts.net.
Hey, there
Shout
you go.
out.
Yeah.
Stop it.
All right, so we are also on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Tales from the Front Porch. We're on Twitter at Tales Front Porch. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, soon to be on Spotify, if they'll approve it.
Have you asked for it?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
just wait for approval.
Okay.
So, yeah, but please leave us a review, a star, a like, a thumbs up, thumbs down. Hell, we don't care. But anything that gets people like, any review of any kind, even if it's just a rating, gets us out to more people, gets it higher up in the rankings. And keep bringing this to you.
Do we need to point out that you're not, in this instance, although we like you to do that on Facebook, he's actually talking about on these other sites.
On iTunes or Stitcher
Right.
or whatever,
Cause,
yeah.
because people are clicking the likes on Facebook.
Right, which we do appreciate,
Absolutely.
because that also helps to get us out in front of other people as well
Right.
on the Facebook page. But for as far as podcast listening audience member-wise, it helps us to find more listener audience if you click the like and stuff. And I can only do it so many times from random accounts I create. So,
Right.
so yeah, we appreciate
That's right.
if you do that. And then video is available also on our Facebook page. We link to it, but we have
Yes.
a YouTube page, which is just Tales from the Front Porch, youtube.com/Tales from the Front Porch. We also have a website, which is talesfromthefrontporch.com, where you can listen to all 123 episodes, 122 plus this one. Yeah, is that
I
it?
sense a trend with the name.
Tales from the Front Porch?
Mhm.
Can I say Tales from the Front Porch anymore? I don't know, Tales from the Front Porch.
There you go.
Dave, you had brought up last week
Yes.
that after we had recorded the podcast, that you are leaving town soon here.
Yes.
Next week.
Yes.
And so you wanted to have the little figures.
If that was possible, but
Dave likes to give me deadlines. Okay, so we have these little figures that we've talked about.
yes.
And we are going to give away a certain amount for free.
Right.
So on a first come, first served basis, we've had a handful of people already request them.
That's right.
More than a handful, actually. I think we're into double digits now. But what we want you to do is we will send it to you free of charge. All you have to do is say, I would like it. But then the only thing we ask in return is that you take a photo of it someplace interesting, preferably not your bathroom, in wherever it is that you are located, so that we can see where Dave and Paul travel. And that's what the figures are. They're little versions of Dave and Paul.
That's right.
That we just want to see where we can travel to, see where you guys are listening to. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Dave said he will pay to ship it to you.
Absolutely.
And so, so if you are interested in getting a little, and we will have them, so next week, I guess, since you're leaving.
I'm leaving Wednesday next week.
So on next week's video podcast, you will see the actual version of the figure, which I think is what everybody's holding out for. They want to see what it looks like before they ask to get a free thing.
Seems fair. Oh yeah, right. I don't want crap.
Yeah, well, it don't look good. Fuck it.
I don't care what it is free.
That's right. Something I have to throw away.
What is this? A weird shaped butt plug? What the?
No. Well, that's what Dave's looks like, but...
Nice.
All right, on that note, check us out. We're out of here. All right, take us out, Hal.
The stories you just heard were true, told as they may seem. And while our time here has ended, the well is far from dry. Tune in next time for more Tales from the Front Porch.